Culturally, we have students from all over the world that come in to Atlanta. We have students from Africa, from Asia, from Mexico. I think the last we counted, they speak over 20 languages at our school. Our children are Title I kids who live in poverty, don't have as much, and education is so very important to them. And so I just have a real passion for that population of children. When I first came to Brumby, Madison Hills was one of our largest apartment complexes with about 200 of our children there. The police had shut it down several times for prostitution rings, for crime, for drugs, and the children that were living there were in a crisis situation.
When we were trying to get our renovation permit, the county would not give us our permit. The reason why they would not was because the school was failing. And that had never occurred to me, the impact of an apartment community on a school. So after I was declined getting my permits from Cobb County, the next morning I knocked on the door of the elementary school and introduced myself and said, I'm the owner of the apartment community and I really want to help you turn your school around.
Margie first approached me to partner with her to help rehabilitate Madison Hills, and we started working on how we could collaborate so that students are successful.
What makes a school fail is called transiency. Transiency is the number of students that leave every year, and it's hard for the teachers to teach the students if they're constantly moving. And that's the role that apartment communities play in a school's performance. If the landlord keeps raising their rents $50 or $100, the tenants can't afford it. So they move out, and when they move out, they typically take their children out of the school. So that was the impact that our property was really having.
At Madison Hills, I was privileged to be the program coordinator, which basically meant do a lot of playing with kids and having fun with them, but I also was able to do family and community-wide events just to help to build that sense of community and belonging.
Kristen was the big sister that some of those kids never had. Kristen put her heart into those children.
One of the cool things I saw were because of the kids being together in after-school program and developing those friendships, even if they may be in some instances were in different grades, those parents began to get to know each other. So those parents supported each other. If maybe somebody's gonna get home late, well, I'm supposed to pick up, these two kids too, and the parents could call me, say, hey, can they go, with them? So kids still didn't have to go home by themselves.
I think our students were personally impacted every day through the after-school program. We were doing a great job with test scores. They were continuing to increase every year. We saw an increase in student participation, students really wanting to do better in school, wanting to participate in after-school activities, and really working to do their very best to be successful.
So working with our program, Brumby, over time, became a Title I School of Distinction. And we were not aware of that until 2014 when we went back to Dr. Ritchie and were asking her, did our program really have an impact on your school? And she said, yes, Margie, we became a Title I School of Distinction because of your program.
Crime decreased in the time that the management company took over Madison Hills. We saw a huge decrease in our student behavior issues that we were having before. They weren't going into their apartments alone. They weren't hanging around outside getting in trouble. They had some structure, and most of them need that so badly. Once the Madison Hills was bought out by the new company, they no longer had security, no longer had the after-school program. We began to see student behavior changing, and then we gradually began to see parents moving out because they had no place for their students to go after school. They began to see crime again. They began to see some of the same problems that were there before the management company had taken over.
When they closed the doors, they basically would not let us have access to the families, to the students. So it was a very abrupt ending to something that was creating so much impact and so much value for the community at large.
We were doing a great job with test scores. They were continuing to increase every year. After the change in management and the closing of the after-school program, our test scores began to decline.
Brumby Elementary, which was doing well, fell 139 places out of 1,200 in the school rankings in the state and became a failing school once again.
But I think kind of the real moment of impact, I was at Kroger one day and one of my kids screamed, "Miss Kristen!" and like ran and gave me the biggest hug and started crying. I was like, oh my gosh. I think I cried, her mom cried, because it showed that this was more than an after-school program. You know, I had been given the very unique privilege to become a part of families. You know, I was able to be a part of something really special, and it was gone.
The business model for Star C is based on the thesis that if we can reduce transiency in the public school system by providing affordable housing and social programs, we can improve public education.
So we decided to use our property in Clarkston, Willow Branch Apartments, and we started looking at programs that we felt like could really impact our residents and the community.
Star C provides at Willow Branch 3 programs. It provides the after-school program, the gardening program, and the wellness program. And those are empowering the community because they offer opportunity for the residents that they might not have had before.
So if you raise the standards in these communities by keeping your rents affordable and putting in the community programs, you can help improve the school, which in the long run improves the community at large, because people want to live in communities that have a successful school.
Indian Creek was ranked second worst out of 1,065 schools of Georgia, and now they're ranked 79th.
Success looks for us as seeing public schools improve because of our ability with our programs to reduce transiency.
It empowers people. They know that they have someone who's an ally there, as well as they know that they have resources that they wouldn't have otherwise. Star C offers a huge confidence boost and is truly changing these communities.